So it is that time of year once again to where we all know that it's the holiday season, and even though you may not celebrate the holidays, it's still the end of a year. But on top of that, when it comes to manga at this time of year, usually we could only expect maybe one or two chapters in December, and this could likely be the final chapter of December, but we could possibly get one more before the year is up. But regardless though, at the end of every single year when it comes to Boku no Hero Academia, we have a character poll, and this time we get the results are in, and we actually know who is the number one this time around. So I want to kind of quickly go over the character poll, like the top 10 or so characters of the character poll, and then I want to move on to the review. I just want to cover it because I think it's a very fascinating thing just to see how, people in Japan feel about Boku no Hero Academia and who is their favorite character, and also this could play a part into which character could potentially be in the spotlight for the future of the series. So coming in at number 1, we have Bakugo. So this man still remains on top. He is number 1. It makes a lot of sense. Bakugo has garnered a lot of fans since, the beginning of this series. At first, not many really liked him, myself included, but after seeing more of his characterization, his backstory, and gotten to see him develop a lot and become a better person, it's obvious why many would actually rank him near the top or even put him in the number 1 spot. And so once again, Bakugo remains and keeps his title. He is the number 1 when it comes to the character poll for this year. Now, at number 2, we have our main character, Izuku. Izuku is the second spot, which once again shows that he has a lot to improve on. He may be number 2, but he needs to work up to number 1 to truly prove that he's a great character, but also, once again, the number 1 hero as well. It's another thing that he definitely needs to work towards, so I like that. I like seeing how Bakugo and Izuku, they're in first and second place, and it's kind of like this rivalry has more depth to it, seeing how they're constantly competing even outside of the manga in the character poll. It's just really cool to see something like that. Now, at the number 3 spot, we have Todoroki, so I can see why Todoroki's so high as well. I mean, when you really think about the series in general, it has like 3 main characters. You have Izuku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. They're like the 3 main cast characters. Like, we follow their story, and so Todoroki being in the top 3, it makes perfect sense, especially after the anime season that aired recently. Season 2, since it dived into Todoroki's character, and, many anime onlys got to see how he was as a person, it's obvious that he would gain a lot more popularity, and so he is now in the 3rd spot, so I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see my boy, Todoroki in, the top 3. Now, moving into number 4, we have Kirishima. Now, Kirishima being in number 4, the 4th spot, makes perfect sense, because with the recent arc of what's been going on in the manga, and what he has been doing, especially with his fight and all that, with, Rappa and all that, we know that the man is insanely strong. He has a lot of potential to be an insane hero in the future, and so after, that arc and those great chapters with him and getting that characterization, that development and all that, and his motivation to continue to press forward, it makes perfect sense why he would be in the top 5, so Kirishima is number 4. Now, moving into number 5, we have Eita. So, Eita, I think, the reason why he has such a boost in popularity is thanks to the anime, because when you really think about things that have been going on in the manga, Eita hasn't really been in the spotlight for a bit. I mean, he's had some scenes here and there, especially like in the latest chapter that I'm about to talk about, but also a little bit ago, earlier on in this arc, he tried to cheer up, Izuku, and give him, like, some talk, and because he was learning from his own mistakes that he did in the past, and when Izuku told him to, like, if you need to talk, let us know, and how Eita kind of shrugged it off and didn't want to say anything, basically, he offered that exact same advice to Izuku, which showed how much he's developed, he's trying to learn and change, and that was also, once again, brought up in the latest chapter. But even then, though, I don't think this chapter really messes with the character poll at all. So, overall, when you look at everything, I'm going to assume the reason why Eita is in the top 5, why he's in the 5th spot, is probably because the man got a lot of popularity from the anime. Many probably jumped onto his character arc and they're like, yo, he's a cool character, I like, what he stood for, I like how he felt so real, and how you almost let go of being a hero, and then what Stain did to him. It was just a lot of good scenes with him, so I could see why he probably is in the top 5. Now, moving into number 6, we have our best boy, Aizawa Sensei. So, Aizawa is number 6. I'm glad to see that. It also makes sense why he's so high up as well, since he has been in the spotlight a lot recently, especially in the latest arc, and with how he's been helping out Izuku, given this, combo with him, and all these critical moments throughout the arc. I mean, him being in the top 10, I wouldn't expect anything less. He's a really good character. He's probably one of my favorite characters in Boku no Hero Academia, and it really isn't a character I actually dislike in Boku no Hero Academia, to a lot of people's surprise. I would say Aizawa is one of my personal favorites, so I'm glad to see him up so high. I'm just happy for that. Now, moving on to number 7, we have All Might, which this is what really surprised me. All Might is number 7, which, in a way, I see why he has dropped a bit, why he's no longer near the top. It makes sense. The reason why is because he's no longer the number 1 hero. He hasn't had a really critical and crazy moment recently in the series. He's kind of, not been really... Well, he's relevant, he hasn't been that important in terms of the fighting and stuff going on. He's more of a mentor, that's what he is right now, and he doesn't really have much he can really do besides that because he's lost everything. He no longer can, do one for all. He doesn't have his quirk anymore. So him lowering down and being at number 7 spot, it does make a lot of sense, and also on top of that too, it also feels more symbolic than anything else because he's no longer near the top, he's lowering down, which shows he's no longer number 1. There's just some really nice message there. Like, it's a really good message just to show that All Might's overall pillar, what he once was, is starting to collapse and slowly lower down for the next generation, which is Izuku and Bakugo. So, anyways, moving on to number 8, we have Kaminari. Kaminari is number 8, and regardless of Fury Crafting and all that, how all of you feel he might be the traitor or whatever, Kaminari is number 8, and in some ways I feel like the reason why he's so high up is probably because of that. Something tells me the reason why Kaminari is so high up on this character poll is because of that theory going around that he could potentially be the traitor in UA. Who knows? But overall, I'm glad to see him so high up. Maybe we might get some characterization for him very soon. Hopefully, Horikoshi focuses on that. Then moving over into number 9, we have Ochiko. So, as I can see here, I'm looking at the top 10. Ochiko is the only female character in the top 10, so actually, being an Ochiko fanboy, this makes me happy. Now, this is my bias, obviously. It's my bias, I admit, but being an Ochiko fanboy, this makes me happy to see she is the only female character in the top 10, which shows she is best girl. This is what I see here, she's best girl, so Ochiko... confirmed best girl for now. That's very nice. Ochiko, I like it. I like it a lot. I really do like that. So, Ochiko, number 9. And number 10, now this one's going to come as a surprise. This is one that, I was like, whoa! It blew me away when I saw this because I couldn't, believe it. Because this character that I'm about to mention is a complete underdog. This character is someone that, honestly, I didn't expect many to really care about. I love the character. I've even discussed his character many times in the past throughout manga chapters and even in the anime, but he's a critically underrated character, and I was very surprised to see him in the top 10. Shinso. Shinso is in the top 10. Now, just FYI, if you don't remember who Shinso is, because it's been a while, Shinso is the man earlier on in Season 2 that was able to manipulate and mind control people. He was mind controlling Izuku and stuff. If you talk to him, that dude from that tournament arc and all that, Shinso. And Shinso is in the top 10. And I'm like, whoa, this character that I really like, that I want more of, is in the top 10. So this could possibly give us more of his character in the future. Because you gotta remember something. This lets Horikoshi know that the readers like these characters. And so that would obviously mean that they would want more of these characters. So we could potentially get more Shinso in the future. I'm very happy to see this. I'm really happy to see Shinso in the top 10. Good stuff. Very good stuff. I am really happy for everyone that voted for Shinso. I really, really am. I kind of sad my boy Tokoyami or Mineta isn't in the top 10, but I guess stuff like that happens, but, it doesn't matter, though. I got my boy Shinso, I got, Kirishima, I got Aizawa, I obviously got my boy Izuku and Bakugo, so I'm pretty happy with this top 10. So, let me know your thoughts on the top 10 in the comments below. So now, with that being said, let's get into the review, okay? I'm sorry about stalling the review and all that. I wanted to get that out of the way. It was very important, and since this is the end of the year, I felt like, I need to celebrate a little bit and make a little bit of an extra long video to discuss that. So, anyways, this latest chapter of Boku no Hero Academia, man oh man, it feels like it's been ages since we've seen the characters together, since we've seen UA all together again, seeing Izuku and everybody else just in the same room talking with each other, and it has been a while. It's been a while, actually. It's been 4-5 months now. It's been a long time since we've seen all these characters interacting together. It could have been even longer than 5 months. It could have been 6 or 7, but it's been a while, and I'm really glad to see all the characters back, communicating again, just talking, because it's one of my favorite moments of Boku no Hero Academia is, chapters like this. I know many might not care about chapters like this, because many might want that action. They want to get back to, what we had a couple chapters ago with Izuku versus, Overhaul, which was epic, by the way. crazy stuff, but many might just want that and they don't really care about chapters like this, which is understandable because at the end of the day this is a battle shonen and many want to read the series because of the action, the battles and stuff. But I do love these chapters and I appreciate these chapters because it gives us some downtime. It allows us to see these characters in their natural environment from doing what they normally do, being heroes, and see how they talk with each other. And it's just really nice to see their personalities and how they mesh together, how they're so different, how Horikoshi has crafted these characters and how he can make them work so well together. I mean, just seeing Momo in this chapter with a turtleneck and all that with her hair down, like, oh, like, yo, like, yo, Horikoshi, you spoil me. That's a nice Christmas present right there. But then I see other characters too. I get to see, you know, Eita in this chapter. I get to see Mina, and I was really happy to see her, especially that interaction with Kirishima. That made me happy, just to see how Kirishima is like, I have a lot to work on, and Mina's like, I see, and that was the end of the convo. That was just really nice, because Mina and Kirishima, they have that history. We know because of the flashback we got about 10 or so chapters ago, we know they have that history, and just seeing how she talked to him and all that, and then she's like, I see, it just shows the relationship and how she does care about him. She just doesn't show it that often, which I would love to have more of them. I really love those two characters. I want more interaction with those two individuals. Then we also have stuff like, you know, Sato and all that, how he was going in trying to force feed, you know, cake to Izuku and all that. He's like shoving it in this man's mouth. That made me laugh. I legit was rolling over laughing and all that. And then you had the other scenes too going on with the bunny and all that, with Koda giving the bunny. Just, there was so many good scenes throughout the chapter that just made me smile, uplift me, and I was like, this is a perfect way to kind of conclude this year of Boku no Hero Academia, because if this is the last chapter, I think it's a perfect way to, you know, conclude Boku no Hero for 2017, but most likely we're probably going to get one more chapter before the end of the year, which most likely could be potential setup for what next year is going to be entirely about. But anyways, let's get into some serious stuff. So number one, let's talk about the walking disaster, Giganto. That man, oh my. So his destructive capabilities was revealed in this chapter. So apparently, Kurogiri, he was snatched. Gran Torino managed to capture him and all that, thankfully. But even then, though, there is this walking disaster that was able to just obliterate a mountain and the forest and all that like it was nothing. You'd see an image, a zoom-out image, which just shows the level of destruction, which is insanely scary. Because this man, if he was to walk into a city, you can imagine how much devastation that would be. So that's just very scary right then and there. So that right there builds up the threat for what we should probably expect for next year of, you know, Boku no Hero Academia. But then it doesn't just stop there as well. Another big thing that it actually hints at is that there is potential other villains just as strong as that walking disaster. Because this is just probably one of many that, you know, All for One has out there. So that's really cool. So there is a lot more stronger villains out there that could possibly pop up and be as stronger, even stronger than that man. So it's going to be probably an insane year. But then on top of that, though, with Kurogiri being captured, there is a likely possibility that, you know, All for One could potentially do a prison break, because Kurogiri, you know, can make portals and stuff. So if he gets into the prison similar to where, you know, All for One is, that would mean that there could potentially be a prison break arc going to happen. We know it's going to happen eventually, because Stain is there, and then we now have Overhaul. Well, Overhaul was heading there. We don't really know where he's at right now, but then we also have, you know, the stuff with Kurogiri, which he might go there. So there's just all these certain villains that are very powerful in that prison, that could possibly be, you know, released because of Kurogiri. If he gets in a chance to escape and use his ability, he can just get out, which could help everyone else out, which would be ridiculous. So there could be a prison arc this upcoming year, especially with Kurogiri being captured, because that could be all according to plan from what, you know, All for One wants. So, anyways, let's talk about the next segment to discuss. Let's talk about the license exam. That is the next big thing to discuss. So the license exam is something we knew was going to happen for a while now. Ever since, you know, Todoroki and Bakugo, they failed their exam, it was just common sense that eventually we're going to get to see some spotlight on it. And the question was, and many of us were wondering, how much was Horikoshi really going to focus on that? Because normally when it comes to shonen, when you have, like, characters that are not the main character fail something, usually you have a quick little scene of it, and then it's kind of rushed over. That's usually how shonen handles stuff like this. But this is Horikoshi, and this is a man that is willing to give the spotlight to other characters besides DMC. And so, I feel like we're probably going to be with, you know, Todoroki and Bakugo for a little bit. I have a really good feeling that Izuku might be sitting out for a little bit. Maybe he might not be the big focus for about 5 or so chapters, because Horikoshi might want to focus on what's going on with, Todoroki, and also Bakugo, and whatever Endeavor and All Might are going to be talking about. I have a feeling that we're going to be having like a narrative shift. Like, we're going to be shifting over to different characters for now, and not really focusing on, Izuku for any time soon. We're probably going to have like maybe 5 or 10 chapters without him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, getting right into it though, they're going to get their license exam, and hopefully they have learned a lot. I mean, they definitely have had a lot of time to think about what they've done, and think about how they can improve and be better heroes. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much they have changed as individuals, and how they can actually pass this exam. Will they pass it? I honestly have no idea. Now, here's the big thing I want to point out though. Kami. Now, FYI, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Kami is the girl that was at the end of this chapter that popped up, and if you don't remember, Kami was Toga. For instance, let's back up, okay, before the overhaul arc and all that, okay? Kami popped up and appeared when they first went to go get their license exam, okay, when Izuku and all of them were there. And we found out that Kami was in fact Toga. Toga transforming into Kami. And we also know that Toga is able to transform into people thanks to their blood. She consumes their blood. And so Toga would need a big amount of blood, a lot of blood, to be able to continuously stay in someone's form for days at a time. And from what we assumed was that Kami, or when Toga was transforming into Kami, it was for like 2 or 3 days, which that's a lot of blood to be able to stay in that form for like 2 to 3 days. So many of us were under the impression that Kami was in fact dead. Like, she was definitely dead, because there's just no way she could possibly live if Toga is harvesting that much blood from her. So we all were under the impression that she was dead, because it was never really discussed ever again. It was never dived back into what happened to Kami after that, because, after that happened, it was swept under the rug and then moving on. So it was never really focused on ever again, but we as the reader knew that something had to have happened to Kami. She obviously was captured by Toga. We don't know exactly how, but we know she was captured by Toga, and we know Toga's probably had her for a while, and she was transforming into her, which could possibly mean that she was gaining information, just looking things up, and all of this other type of stuff she wanted to do for the League. So it was a very scary thing to see. But now in this chapter, Kami pops up, and we're left wondering, what? Like, here's the question. The Kami popping up, we don't really know if that is Kami or if that is Toga. We don't know. We have no idea. We legit have no idea at all. We don't. We don't know if that's real Kami or not. For all we know, that could be Toga in disguise as Kami. That easily could be what's going on there. However, if it is Kami, the real Kami, then this is a big question, okay? Why did she appear now? But also, why is she not talking about what happened to her? Unless there's some form of, quirk that manipulated her memory, or she can't speak about something. Who knows? She could be a hostage. For instance, she's able to walk around, but she's a hostage because if she says anything, maybe certain people close to her could possibly get hurt. Who knows? The big thing here, though, is that there's definitely going to be a critical plot point with Kami in the upcoming chapters. That is definitely something that Horikoshi is building up to. It's definitely something to do with the League. Definitely something to do with Toga. We don't know exactly what it is, but for all we know, that could be Toga. That could not be Toga. We don't really know. I just want everybody to make sure you focus on that, because that is a very critical part of the chapter. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I guess the only thing left to really talk about is the Endeavor and All Might stuff. So, Endeavor is wanting to talk to All Might. And this is probably one of the highlights of the chapter, because it's something that I've been curious to see for a while. I didn't know if Horikoshi was ever going to do it. Honestly, I had my doubts. I didn't know if we would ever have, Endeavor and All Might sit down and talk with each other. But that actually seems to be happening right now. And now, I really do hope that Horikoshi doesn't do the standard shonen way and just off-screen it. I really hope he does not do that, because there's just so many shonen I see to where they off-screen an important conversation that many of us would love to, actually witness and read, but it's off-screen. And I really hope that's not what is done. Like, I hope that we get to see whatever All Might and Endeavor have to talk to each other about. I hope Horikoshi does not skip that. But, the combo, though, I'm willing to bet what's going to happen here is Endeavor's probably going to ask All Might about Izuku. I can definitely see that happening. But on top of that, though, I feel like Endeavor is going to probably probably open up a little bit. I have a feeling in a certain way, in a very heinous way, Endeavor's probably going to open up to All Might. And it may not be like a good way, but I feel like he's going to open up in a way that could be very harsh. I don't know. I just have that feeling that that's probably what's going to happen. Now, is Endeavor worthy of saving, of redemption? Debatable. Very debatable after what he did to his wife and his children and all that. It's very debatable. But even then, though, we just got to see where Horikoshi wants to take his character, but I am curious to see what the combo is going to be about. So I want to end the video there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this week's chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please be honest in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And just a brief FYI, if you're not getting notifications for my videos, because I've been noticing that many have been saying that for the past week, and it's not just from my channel, but many other channels that YouTubers are subscribed to, you're apparently not getting notifications. So even if you're getting my notifications, I just want to say this just for the other YouTubers out there to help them out too. If you want to see someone's content, but you're not getting notifications, next to the subscribe button, there is a bell icon. Click it, because that's how you are supposed to get notifications now, even though usually the subscribe button means you should get notifications, and it doesn't work like that anymore. So basically what I'm saying is, if you want to get notifications for channels, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button. Now, if you already get notifications from me, don't worry about it, just do it for other channels. But if you don't want it for me, it doesn't matter. At least do it for other people you want to watch. I'm just going to give an FYI to help you guys out, to keep you guys all in the know. So I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.